What's up, my friends? Happy St. Patrick's Day, huh? I know this is probably going to come to you after St. Patrick's Day, but it's the thought that counts. And since we can't congregate in groups, here's my own green concoction in a Cubs cup, mind you. It's Green River and vodka, which is, as close as we can get to congregating. So cheers. Speaking of which, make sure that you're out there taking the opportunity when you can to go to the grocery stores, get some groceries, but more importantly, if you get an opportunity to order out as well, that's very important as we sit here in quarantine mode to try and keep our economy running smoothly. During baseball season, as you may or may not know, I often, during the game, have a chance to crack open some packs of baseball cards. It was actually suggested to me by a good friend of mine, Mr. Bradley Riva. Hello, Brad. Uh, to do this during the break, or whatever you want to call this. We'll call it the quarantine. So why not? What the heck? At TC Popcorn on Twitter and ditto on Instagram. I'm TC Popcorn. And here, cheers. For those of you who don't know, I'm obviously working the Frontier League for the Schaumburg Boomers, the Boomers St. Patrick's Day hat on right now. And in our group chat, we're kind of wondering, what's going to happen in terms of our season. And as we've mentioned, there's no sports going on right now. So we got to find anything to try and keep ourselves occupied. Now, the hot baseball card item at current is the Topps Heritage, right? This is the 2020 Topps Heritage. We're going to open 2 packs of cards today on this edition. I also have a 2019 High Number Heritage, which is the ones that come out at the end of the season with the players that have made their debuts and whatnot. Now, this is going to be different from regular, card opening sessions in the sense that I guess we'll try and do this as frequently as we can. We'll see what happens from there. I do have some old packs that I can get to that I was planning on opening during the season this year, but we'll go through and do what we can. These packs came from my desk at my office. I was keeping them in my desk to open one a day and kind of entertain me a little bit during the lunch hour. But obviously now with 3 weeks away from there, I brought them all home, which I guess means I should probably have, sterilized them with wipes or something. By the way, wash your hands. Please wash your hands as this is happening in front of us. Everybody be safe out there. And like I said, take some time to enjoy what's around you. Find pleasure in the little things, I guess. It's crazy, I'm working from home, and I've got the 6-year-old at home right now. We're trying to get her e-learning as much as she can with all the other stuff as well. But let me tell you how hard it is to try and keep yourself focused on doing your job at home when you've got a 6-year-old hanging on you every second. And I guess we're only 2 days into that, so we'll see what happens. So the 2020s are the hot ones right now. But let's go in and we'll start with the 2019s. What we're going to do is we'll talk about each player that's in here, right? Usually you'll see people kind of rip them open and look really fast to try to find something special that's in there or pull them out. I want to talk about each card a little bit. Nothing too crazy because we've got some sports now to try and figure out. And because I want this to be a little different, right? So first of all, how do you open your packs? I just go the standard back, right? Get this little back side. I'm just going to rip it and make that little tear and then tear it right down the middle and open it that way. I know there's some people who open it with their mouth and some people maybe use scissors. I don't know. I'm not encouraging you to use your mouth right now. We'll just put it that way. So here we go. This is the High Number 2019, which is in the style of the 1970s Topps. So here we go. Not a bad way to start. Mr. Bryce Harper. How you doing, Bryce? He's in his Philadelphia Phillies uniform. See if you can get a good look at Bryce there. And yeah, I know it's backwards on the screen. Led the big leagues in walks in 2018. Owns the 5th highest career on-base percentage amongst active players. Slugging percentage ranks 13th. In 2018, mind you, these are 2019 cards. He hit 249 with 34 homers and 100 RBIs. I like Bryce a lot. I think he's a very exciting player. I think he's personality-wise what baseball needs. Somebody fresh and young. But outside of that, statistics-wise, And everybody talks about how great he is and how much they would like to have him on their team. Scores a lot of runs, had 103 runs scored. But he's had some problems staying healthy. And that 249 batting average is low. In 7 years, he's hit 279 for his career. But he's also hit 184 home runs and driven in 521 runs. So he's a lefty. He's out of Las Vegas, and he's now a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. He recorded his 500th career RBI in 2018, so it says on the back of the card. I'm going to badly mispronounce this one. First baseman for the Rays, Ji-Man Choi. Ji-Man Choi. Don't know anything about him. Says he was acquired in a trade with Milwaukee as a knack for consistent, loud contact. Big lefty staked a claim to the regular season playing time by clubbing 8 home runs in 49 games for Tampa. In 2019, Choi earned the starting first base job and collected multi-hits in 4 of his initial 8 contests. So looking at the back of the card, he's with Tampa. It's his 4th team. The Angels, the Yankees, the Brewers, and the Rays. He hit 426, or had a 426 on base percentage in April of 2019. He had 8 home runs in 49 games for the Rays in 2018. Ji-Man Choi. This is a good one. It is the rookie card of one Eloy Jimenez. Eloy, big name in Chicago right now. White Sox are a hot item. We'll see what happens in terms of if their season even starts and when it starts. Potentially, they're talking about June at the early end at this point, right? MILB.com organization All-Star honors for the 3rd straight season in 2018. At AAA, Charlotte slugged .839 in the month of July. Hit .355 in 55 games for Charlotte in 2018. Hit .369 against lefties, and he's one of the big reasons why there's a lot of optimism for the White Sox. It's his rookie card in the Topps Heritage variety. Eloy Jimenez, that's a nice pull, right? A left-handed pitcher from the Padres, Eric Lauer. Let's see, he zoomed through the system to join the San Diego rotation in less than 2 years. Given the opening day assignment for the Padres in 2019, he threw 6 shutout innings, and he led Major League Baseball with 10 pickoffs in 2018. 2018, 23 games, 112 innings, 100 strikeouts, 4.34 ERA, 46 walks. Not bad. We'll see what's to come. Eric Lauer. Drop the card. Always good, right? And again, happy St. Patrick's Day. Bottoms up. Gotta say, it was cool to see the Dropkick Murphys performing a live concert on Facebook today. I imagine we'll see a lot of that coming. Now and then, a Blue Jays card. It says 21st Century Man. Elvis Luciano, the first Major League Baseball player to be born in the 2000s. A Rule 5 draft selection, came out of the bullpen to face the Tigers. First player born in this century to play in the big leagues. For those of you who are into trivia, on March 31st, 1970, the Twins cut pitcher Dick Woodson, who said he might retire. He reconsidered, and 2 years later was a 14-game winner. So that was the 1970 versus 2019. A couple of interesting facts on that one. This is a guy who was in the Cubs system for a while, Billy McKinney, outfielder for the Blue Jays. His full name is William Landis McKinney, it says. Only player with 3 home runs and 9 RBI in his first 9 games with the Blue Jays. Don't know if that changed with the addition of Toronto's rookie bashing row. I mean, my gosh. Bichette, Guerrero, Biggio. Team's got some players for time to come, right? 252 with the Blue Jays, 6 homers, 13 RBIs in 36 games. He was, as I said, a Cubs prospect before he was dealt to Tampa. Or not to Tampa. He played in Tampa in the Florida State League. He was dealt to the Yankees. 2016 was his last year with the Cubs, and he hit 252 that year with a homer and 31 RBIs. He kind of bounced around a little bit. I believe he went from the A's to the Cubs, and then to the Yankees and the Blue Jays as part of those deals, but not crazy. So there's Billy McKinney. Behind that's another nice one. Another big rookie card, Pete Alonso with the Mets. You see that classic 1970s design. Top-rated first base prospect, according to MLB.com, paced farmhands and home runs during a 2018 season that saw him make the Futures game and reach AAA. Physically imposing hitter with top-tier patience, University of Florida standout, added 6 long balls in the Arizona Fall League. He hit 11 home runs in August for Las Vegas in 2018. And of course, Pete had a big, successful run quickly in the major leagues last year. He hit 260 in Las Vegas before his recall with 21 homers in 67 games. Jason Martin is a rookie for the Pirates. Here we go. Don't know anything about him, although it says he's singled in his initial Major League Baseball at bat. 2018 Baseball America AA All-Star, blends power, speed, and defensive range. Hit safely in his first 4 games with the Pirates. In AAA Indianapolis last year, hit .211 with 4 homers and 21 driven in. By last year, I mean 2018, every time I'm saying that, because these are 2019 cards, pardon me. That Green River's coming back at me. Last one in this pack. There's only 9 cards in each of these packs. We've got a Cody Allen Angels card. 18 1/3 postseason scoreless streak. He is a closer, one of the premier closers. One of only 3 pitchers to save at least 24 games in every season from 2014 to 2018. Of course, all that time was with the Indians. 2018 struggled a bit with the Indians. 4.70 ERA in 70 appearances. That is Cody Edward Allen. So that is the 2019 Topps Heritage High Number Pack. And now we'll, I guess, jump into these 2020s, which were hot off the shelves. By the way, as I'm talking about supporting the economy, if you haven't had a chance and you're a big baseball card person, make sure to go out and hit those, local card shops up and ensure that they're getting some help as well if you have that chance. I know that these heritage cards were bouncing off the shelves at the one that I go to regularly. This is the 9 cards, although they may have only 5 to 8 if they have a special insert. It's the 1971 design, looks very nice, and we'll break into this one the same way we did the last one. Doesn't have as cool of a sound as those old packs, though, does it? Definitely just plastic. Still works for me, though. All right. So here's the cool look, right? The black outline and the picture in the middle and the big team name at the top. This is Ben Gamel to start. Only 1 year of stats on the back, 134 games in 2019. Hit one of the shortest homers you'll ever see, a 251-foot slicer down the line. Got past the diving outfielder for an inside-the-park home run. First year in Pro Ball, 2010. First year in the Majors, 2016. Hit 248 last year. Got Yan Gomes with the Nationals. I don't know if he's still as significant at the catcher position. The first National League Championship Series RBI in the history of the Expos Nationals franchise was plated by Yan in the 2019 postseason. It's a game winner against St. Louis. Hit 233 last year with 12 homers and 43 driven in for the eventual world champions. You've got Shed Long with the Mariners. Hot September positions himself for a starting job in 2020 when we ever get to the 2020 season, which again, they're talking about June. Imagine how close they were to the start of the season, and now they got to put everything on hold, and they're going to have to restart it again. It'll be a very, very shortened spring training. I would imagine 2 weeks to get everybody back into shape once they get it going. But again, they're talking about June on the early end. Shed hit 263 with 3 stolen bases last year for the Mariners. He hit 289, including an opposite field homer against Garrett Cole for the team's only hit that day. First game in the big leagues was 2019. He's a second baseman and outfielder. Shed Long. I like how they have the autograph at the bottom of the cards, too, if you can see that. Pirates, Joe Musgrove. Let's see. He's usually at his best against the Cubs. Of course he is. Why not? In 7 starts against them, 1.69 ERA, .9 whips with 44 strikeouts and 42 2/3. Last year, 4.44 ERA, 11-12 record, 157 strikeouts and 170 1/3 for Joe Musgrove out of El Cajon, California. Here's an interesting one. David Price, as a member of the Red Sox, of course, he's now on the left coast. AL Cy Young Award winner isn't the limit of his talents. After helping the Red Sox win the World Series title, he created a Twitch channel to show off his skill at playing the Fortnite video game. There was a lot of rumors about Fortnite and David Price and injuries and some of that stuff that went down with them a few years ago as well. 4.28 ERA last year, 7-5 record in 107 innings. He did strike out 128. Travis d'Arnaud, catcher for the Rays. Remember, he used to be a very hot commodity when he was coming up with the Mets. Even though he played with two other teams before joining the Rays, he set the club's single-season record for most homers by a catcher by hitting 16 and accomplished it in just 92 games. Travis d'Arnaud. Mike Foltynewicz, big pitcher for the Braves, will be counted on in this 2020 season. A slumping Mike was sent to AAA in June upon being recalled. Became one of the club's best starters at 2.65 ERA in 10 starts and earned him a spot on the postseason rotation. 105 strikeouts in 117 innings. He was 8-6 with a 4.54 ERA. For the record, every time I trade for Mike Foltynewicz in MLB The Show, he's never any good for me. I don't know why that is. Dakota Hudson with the Redbirds, a team that shall not be named. He helped carry the Cardinals in the second half from August 14 to September 5th. He was 5-0 with a 1.11 ERA. First round pick, led the team in wins, finishing 16-7 last year with a 3.35 ERA. And I think if you're going to pick a team in the National League Central that would be bound for regression, it could be the Cardinals. They could also just as easily win 100 and some games and run away with the division this year as well. So, although I guess, again, that depends on, are we playing 162 or not, right? We got one more card to go, and this is an American League Championship Series highlight. I laugh because it's Jose Altuve, right? And if you'll remember anything about this situation, it says Altuve sends Astros to the World Series with a walk-off homer. Of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who say that Altuve, as he was crossing home plate after hitting the home run off of Aroldis Chapman, was going like this, telling his team not to take off his shirt. Then he went into the clubhouse and changed before he came back out for his interview. It's a black and white picture of Altuve. There's nothing on the back except for the box score of the game. In that game, Altuve was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored, as the Astros scored twice in the bottom of the ninth to record the win over the Yankees. No pitching stats on the back of this box score, interestingly enough. Just players' numbers. Let's see, who else had a good day for the Astros? Yuli Gurriel had 2 hits and 3 RBIs as well. As, of course, the Astros went on to lose in the World Series to the Nationals, but that was definitely one of the more significant things coming up this offseason. So we're close to 20 minutes. That's about it. I went through 2 packs. I'm not going to do that all the time. But it's as much for my entertainment as for yours. I'm in my 4th bedroom, which is where I'll kind of hole up from time to time, I guess. I guess one of my goals over this couple of weeks is to try and get this room finally completely cleaned up. It's not terrible behind me, but nonetheless, at TC Popcorn on Twitter and Insta. Hope you enjoyed it. More cards coming your way soon, and we'll see what years and brands I decide to go with for those. Until next time, bye-bye.